Good morning, everybody. I welcome you all back. We have little pause because our colleges they opened, and now we have again started because on July 26 we are going to have a fourth series of our test, which is a blend of UG and PG. When I say MSc, it is not time to offend. You are in BSc, you have to come to MSc. That does not mean that I am talking about MSc, I am talking about all. It is sometimes we will say MSc, no issue with that. Because the preparation, the projects, and the all things are to be responsible for these two classes, BSc Final and MSc. So today I will start the immune or immunity system because we are facing a lot because of this. COVID-19, those people are getting trapped who have very feeble immune system. So today we talk about the immune system and how it acts and what are its consequences when it got weakened up. So July 26 is the blend of UG and PG, and these entrance tests you did very well, but in coming days you have to perform better than that to get into not into the UGC OCT but IS level. So to getting into IS, getting into that groove is very important. So come with me, make my hand strong, stronger and the strongest, appear in this competitive exam and clear it. See the big picture, don't go to the small one. See big picture which we are expecting in the coming days. I assure you, after 2-3 years, lot of people are clearing IS, UGC, OCT, GATE from in between you people. Out of you people, because I assess lot of people, they have potential, approximately all. So tap your potential, come with me and clear the competitive exams. Stay indoors, stay safe. I will back with the new topic. Don't consider UG people that it is PG topic. No, immunity is all. All are suffering from COVID. Please listen to it. It is our thinking that we are in BSc. Don't think so. It is a topic. If it is in your BSc class, you have to read that. No issue. It is the basic things you would know. And I will put question from these basic things. Right? Stay indoor. Stay safe. I will write back. Thank you. Welcome back. Today our topic is immune system and vaccines. So immune, as I already told you, it is very important nowadays, that is COVID era. So immune system basically very important for us to cope up with the disease, right? So the immune system of the body is basically monitored with the help of WBCs, which we are called white blood corpuscles or lymphocytes, which circulate between the blood and lymph system. This question will come. The lymphocytes are two types. See, B cells and T cells. The B cells synthesize antibodies, causing agglutination of unwanted antigens called humoral immunity. So which cells are involved in humoral immunities? It is the B cells through antibodies. And the second type is the T cells, which carry out cellular immune response where cells having unwanted antigens. See, cells having unwanted antigens without any mediation of antibodies, this question will come. So there is no antibodies here, called cellular immunity. So cellular immunity, they are controlled by the T cells, right? So now we are coming to the next, that is the structure of immunoglobulins, right? There are basically 5 major types of antibodies: IgA, IgD, IgE, IgG and IgM, which I told you it is because of the heavy chain we have, because in case of antibodies we have 2 chains, heavy and light chain. So A alpha chain is alpha, D delta, epsilon, gamma and mu. It is a Y-shaped structure of antibody. It is divided into the 2. One is the antigen binding domains, which is called FV and FAB fragment. See, this is the antibody, and these are the antigen binding domains. FV, which is heterodimer, and FAB, which is also heterodimer with V plus C domain. And here it is a band that is called hinge region. And then we have the second, that is effector domain, which is called FC fragment. See, this is the effector domain, which is called FC. See, both they have light and heavy chain. Here it has only the heavy chain, right? So now we are coming to the first, that is the FV fragment is heterodimer variable domains of heavy chain and light chain, that is VH and VL. So we are coming to the first is the FV, light chain and heavy chain, and that is the VH and VL. And then we have the FAB fragment, is also heterodimer, consists of entire light chain and VH and CH domains of heavy chain. See, entire light chain and VH and CH1 domains of the heavy chain, and this is called FAB fragment. And then we are coming to the FC that is fragment, which consists of homodimers. See, homodimers, CH2 and CH3. This is CH2 and CH3. So now the question arises, the entire antibody can be enzymatically cleaved of the hinge region into dash and dash fragments. So hinge is this, so it is the FAB and FC. Because FV is a lot away, this is the hinge which separates the 2 fragments. This question will come. So it does not matter whether you are in BSc or MSc, it is basic knowledge you will require to assess. Please, if you want to clear competitive exams, avoid syllabus or course when you are preparing for competitive. Just be open-minded to which any topic it comes. You must have seen 3 Idiots also. Amir Khan goes and sit in any class. That is the way. You have to take the knowledge from where it is coming, right? So there are 5 types of heavy chains. First is the alpha, and the antibody is IgA. 15% of blood serum is this. Antibody found in our tears, mucus, saliva, and also in the mother milk. These questions will come. The first defense against invading bacteria and viruses is caused by the IgA, and it is dimer, right? So this question will come. I will ask you in the test, which of the following is dimer, which is monomer, which is pentamer. Then we have delta heavy chain, and it is IgD, and it is monomer, accounts for only 0.2% of total antibodies. Very important question will come, cannot pass through the placenta and helps the baby to initiate the immune response. It cannot pass, so it will remain there and it helps baby to initiate the immune response, that is IgT. right? So then we have the heavy chain epsilon IgE. It is also monomer. It is 0.002% of total antibodies. Very important point. It tightly bound to the mast cells and basophils with the help of Fc region. We did with the help of this region, Fc region. In highly allergic persons, abnormally high concentration of IgE is found as mast cells and basophils take part in allergic reaction. If somebody is having allergy to milk or there a question will come if somebody is allergic to the milk or wheat. A lot of cases will come which antibody is more in that is IgE, because in allergic reaction mast cells and basophils are more, and Ig is basically attached to the mast and basophil cells are attached to the Fc region of the IgE. And the next is which of the following is thermolabile, that is IgE. This is I make a star. And the fourth type is, because heavy chain is gamma and it is IgG, it is monomer and it forms maximum of the concentration. This question will come 50 to 80% of total antibodies in the blood serum. IgG can pass placenta and provide passive immunity to the fetus. So it is not there for fetus, it gives the passive immunity. IgG can also not only pass through the placenta, it can pass through the walls of blood vessels and enters the tissue fluid. It's very important. Which of the antibody pass through the placenta, blood vessels and enter the tissue fluid? It is IgG. Now we have coming to the mu, IgM. Here it is a pentamer. This question will come. Which of the following antibody is pentamer? Which of the following is dimer? Which is following is monomer? It forms 5 to 10% of total antibodies. When exposed to antigens, IgM molecules appear first. If any type of infection kit comes in antigen or proteins, IgM molecules are to appear first. It indicates the disease caused by the pathogen. We will check if IgM is there. We said it is a disease caused by the pathogens. So these are the 5 antibodies we have. Here I want to tell you that I start from the IgM. IgM has a molecular weight of 900 kilodaltons, whereas next we have IgE, and this IgE has a 200 kilodaltons. Then we have IgD, and this IgD, it has a molecular weight of 180 kilodaltons. Then we have IgG, it has a molecular weight of 180 kilodaltons. And then we have IgA, which has 360 kilodaltons. Here, rarest of the rare, question will come which has the maximum molecular weight, that is the IgM, that is 900 kD. This is the 900 kilodaltons. Another question will come which of the two has approximately equal molecular weight, that is IgG and IgD, both have 180, right? So these are the questions it will come. And then one other point is the Seidberg coefficient, and the Seidberg coefficient of all that except the IgM, a Seidberg coefficient of IgM is 19S. This you have to remember. Whereas the Seidberg coefficient of all IgE, IgA, IgD and IgE, they all have Seidberg coefficient of 6 to 11S. So question does not come here, it will come here. The Seidberg coefficient 19S is of, we have options, you will have to click IgM. Now we are coming to the next part, that is the T cell receptors. T cell develops in the thymus which I told you here, T cells which cause cellular immunity, they migrate and mature in thymus. So T cells, they develop in thymus and are responsible for the cell immunity or cellular immunity. T cells may secrete chemical signals, lymphokines, interleukins, cytokines. These cytokines are very important nowadays, because what will happening in COVID-19, people are suffering, okay, no issue with that. They take medicines, they cure up, but some people they don't. After some time, body will say it is enough, enough is enough. It secretes these cytokines. And these cytokines, and body says enough is enough, I will kill the intruder. These cytokines kill the intruder, but besides intruder, it also kills the organs, and it results in the multiple organ failure and person will die. So the moment the body starts generating cytokines, it will be very dangerous to revive. Anyhow, these cytokines, they activate macrophages and destroy the invading microorganisms. The T cell receptor, T cells recognize the peptide fragments of antigens which are partially degraded inside the cell and carried to the cell surface. So these T cells, there are two types. First is the cytotoxic T lymphocytes, we can say CTL and S, and the other is the helper T cell. First, cytotoxic T lymphocytes kills cells infected with virus, whereas the helper T cells, they send chemical signals, which we are facing nowadays, to help and stimulate the various other cells like B cells and CTL cells themselves. They are called cytotoxic T lymphocytes. And these helper cells, there are two types. Th1 cells which activate macrophages, and Th2 cells which stimulate B cells. Now question arises, which cells activate macrophages and which cell B cells? You have to answer the option. So now we have come to the helper T cells, also called CD4 plus cells. There are two types. First is Th1 clones. They produce interleukin IL-2, interferon gamma, and tumor necrosis factors, that is TNF beta. Similarly, Th2 clones produces IL-4, 5, 10 and IL-13. It is recently proved that, very important, IL-10 was now produced by both Th1 and Th2. This question will come. Th cells, 1 cells are primarily responsible for the cell mediated immunity and strong DTH, that is delayed type hypersensitivity, and Th2 are involved in reverse of that, that is humoral immunity or weak DTH, that is the delayed type hypersensitivity, as they help B cells and other cells to produce antibodies. The principal cytokine of Th1 is interferon gamma, which activate macrophages for microbicidal action, that just to kill the viruses, and also stimulates production of IgG antibodies. See, this is first type of helper T cells, Th1. It secretes IL-2 and interferon gamma, and they activate B cells to produce macrophages. These macrophages activation. And these Th2 on the other hand produce IL-4 and 5. The IL-4 induce B cells switching to Ig. Very important question, this question will come. IL-4 induces B cell to switch into IgE production instead of IgG, and IL-5 activate eosinophils. So Th2 cells also inhibit the inflammatory response, right? So now we are coming to the second type, Th2. it produce these IL-4, 5, 10, both has produced 13. So what will 4 do? B cell will form IgG, but 4 switched from IgG to IgE, and as I already told you, IgE towards their FC region are attached mast cells and eosinophil cells, which are responsible for the allergic reactions. And then IL-5, it induce the B cells to activate eosinophil. So these are the eosinophil, right? So this finishes the helper T cells. So I am taking this from the competitive point of view, and they are very important. Now I am coming to the T cell receptors and CD3 complex, right? That is both in CTLs and helper T cells. T cells, they have receptors, and these receptors on the surface of T cells, they are linked with the transmembrane protein called CD3 complex. So this you should know, that they are linked to the CD3 complex. And then these receptors, they have 2 polypeptide chains, that is alpha and beta, and these 2 polypeptide chains linked with the which bond? This question will come, disulfide bonds. And see, T cell receptors, here CD3 complex will come, and it will results in the activation of MHC molecule and Fin protein. So now question arises, what are MHC molecules? And the MHC are, which are called major histocompatibility complex, right? So major histocompatibility. Here I want to tell you one thing, that cytotoxic T cells or lymphocytes, which I told right now, CTLS, they kill the cells harboring harmful microbes, while helper T cells respond to the, very important, please note, they respond to the basically helper T cells, they respond to the, see this, helper T cells, these, they respond to the extracellular microbes, extracellular, mind it, and their toxic products by secreting lymphokines or cytokines. The helper T cells, as I told you, Th1 and Th2. So these, please mind that these extracellular, I already told you, microbes. Now I am coming to the MHC. MHC are basically, they are also called the major histocompatibility complex, and these MHC, they are called surface proteins, and the reaction of body, I will later on tell you, it is because of the MHC. MHC, they are classified into 2, that is class 1 and class 2. So class 1 is heterodimer, both are heterodimer, and class 1 consists of single polymorphic transmembrane. Here question will come, it may be single, and here there are the 2 transmembrane polyformic peptides as class 1 and 2. And this class 1 is divided into the alpha chain, which is molecular weight, this question will come sometimes, 44 kilodalton, and second is the extracellular variant, that is beta 2, and this is only 12 kilodalton. And then alpha, it further divided into the 3, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, and alpha, it is the alpha 3 which is basically a binding site of CD8. This question will come, right? And they are polymorphic and meant for binding, right? So alpha 1 and beta 2, this is alpha 1 and beta 2, they are homologous. So this question will come, 4 option will come, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, beta 2, which is the homologous. So you have different options, but you have to click this one. So MHC2 is B cells, thymus, which are cells, and 2 membrane, and it has alpha and beta, and alpha is comparatively lesser in size, that is 33 kD, and then it is divided to alpha 1 and alpha 2, where beta is 31 kD, and it is divided to beta 1 and beta 2. So these are encoded within MHC, and it is the beta 2 where CD4 bind. See here, we have basically alpha 3 MHC CD8 which binds CD8, not CD4, binds to alpha 3. Here MHC2 CD4 binds to the beta 2. So these you should be very much clear. So I already told you that in MHC1 alpha 3 and beta 2 are basically homologous and they are Ig like, where in MHC2 alpha 2 and beta 2 are Ig like, right? So this shows that the presence of Ig like domains suggests that common evolutionary origin of MHC molecule. So common origin of MHC molecule is due to the Ig domains, right? So MHC were initially called H2 antigens, that is the histocompatibility 2 antigens in mice, right? And HLA antigens, that is human leukocyte associated antigens in humans, because they are first detected in the leukocytes, that is why it is in humans it is called HLA. Here it is very important to note that T cell mediated transplantation rejection. When we have transplantation, we have rejection. It is mainly due to the MHC protein molecules, which T cells recognize MHC molecule and not the antigen. So the T cells can, if somebody is coming antigen, it will not recognize till it is accompanied by the MHC molecules. That is the importance of MHC molecules. So now we are coming to T cell co-receptors, that is CD4 and CD8, and I already told you where they are attached. I again revise you, that is it is attached to the CD8 to the alpha 3 of MHC1 and CD4 to the beta 2 of MHC2, right? So it is shown that groove of class 1 MHC formed by alpha 1 and alpha 2 domains, which I just told you, of polypeptide accommodate 8 to 10 amino acids, while the grooves, this question will come, grooves of MHC class 2 MHC molecule found of alpha 1 and beta 1 accommodate 15-24 amino acids. So now we are coming to the T cells. I already told you T cell, they have receptors and CD complex co-receptors. We have receptors, then we have co-receptors, that is CD4 and CD8. So CD complex, interaction between T cells and target cells having MHC complex, it forms the unstable interaction, right? And when the correlator receptor, that is comes with it, it will form a stable interaction, right? And co-receptor, beside making unstable to stable, make interaction stable by through which process? Cell and cell adhesion. It activates T cells through intracellular signals. See, I said intracellular signals, and earlier I already told you to please remind that we have extracellular, because helper T cells respond to the extracellular microbes, right? So there are two co-receptors, I already told you, that is the CD4 on helper T cells and binding class 2, whereas CD8 on cytotoxic T cells and binding to the class 1, that is alpha 3, whereas CD8 to the beta 2, which we did very handsomely and very easily. It is not a problem now. So now question arises, CD4 plus, that is also function as a receptor for the HIV, very important disease which results in a lot of deaths, that is AIDS, thus permitting the virus to enter. So who permit virus to come? Because CD4 takes it inside, and to enter the helper T cells and paralyzing the, because helper T cells, they recognize the CD4, right? So CD4 also function as a receptor for HIV, thus permitting the virus to enter the helper T cells, paralyzing the immune system. So that is a result in the death, not because of AIDS but because of the secondary infections. So now we are coming to the cytotoxic T cells. MHC molecules present foreign antigens to the cytotoxic T cells. So it is the MHC molecule which present, right, and which kills the infected target cells having class 1 MHC. So antigen, when combined with MHC molecule, it is recognized by the T cell, and this work is by the Rolf Zinkernagel and Peter Doherty. In 1996 they got the Nobel Prize. This question will also come. Later it was found that as T cells also recognize, I already told you, degraded fragments. START. In START I already told you, it is recognize the degraded fragments of the protein of virus and not the intact virus, right? Here you will see peptide fragments. First they came to the cytosols and then transferred to the ER lumen and they carried to the cell surface, and basically they bind to MHC which are made in the ER lumen. So this basically is a very confusing to you. So I want to explain you just a moment. Before that I want to tell you MHC and presentation of antigens in T cells. MHC were first reported in organ transplantation reactions, where graft reaction, which I already told you, were witnessed as T cell mediated immune response against foreign cell surface proteins, that is histocompatibility molecules. And histocompatibility, histo means tissue, right? So that is class 1 MHC restricted CD8 plus cells, right? Class 2 CD4 plus cell, that is extracellular antigens. So expression of MHC molecules stimulated by the cytokines, that is interferons. I already told you, IL-2, IL-4, IL-5, right? Interferon gamma secreted by natural killer cells during early innate immune response is the major cytokine. So the question will come, which is the major cytokine? That is interferon gamma, which I have already explained you. See, this one, right? So major responsible for the activating the expression of MHC class 2 molecules, right? So now I am just coming to the next point. The last I told you that I will explain this one more elaborately, but the basically crux or abstract is this, but I will explain here. Suppose there is a internal viral protein will come and it will be endocytosis, it means it will taken inside, and inside this we have endosomes, and with endosomes here is the fusion of virus with endosomes membrane and escape of viral into the cytosol. With the fusion with the endosome, it come to the cytosol. Here the replication of viral RNA take place, right? And here in cytosol there is a proteolysis of viral by protosome. Protosomes which are coined by the genes of MHC, right? So proteolysis means proteins are broken up, and these viral RNA, it results in formation of peptides. So this is the part we did. I told you peptide fragments, and you came to know how it comes. Viral will come, it taken inside the cell and attached to the endosomes and fusion with the endosome, and then escapes into cytosols where it replicates. Then it is proteolysis by proteasome, which is coined by the MHC genes, and it from the peptides. And these peptides, they are transferred to the ER lumen. Same, I told you. Cytosol, they are coming to the ER lumen, and here it will just say it will come to ER lumen. Here it will have, we have the beta 2 microglobulin and class 1 MHC ki alpha chain, right? And the second, I already told you, after it is carried, it is here, it is made in bind to MHC. See, peptides will come, and peptides plus beta macroglobulin and class 1 MHC, and it bind here and it goes to the Golgi bodies, right? And here the peptide fragments, and this is the MHC1 and class MHC1 molecule with bound peptide to the, and it is exposed to the cell surface. The moment it is exposed to the cell surface, they are recognized by the cytotoxic T cells, right? Is facilitated by a protein called talin. Which protein facilitate? That is talin, right? So as soon as it comes to the extracellular, it is absorbed, it is recognized by the cytotoxic T cells, and it results in the immune response. So this is the first phase we did. So tomorrow I will do the second phase, and first, before moving, I will revise this first phase. So today I want to just tell you that we have done FV and FAB, and then we have done FC. It is a hinge region which join the FAB and FC. So then we have the two heterodimers which consisting of both that is light and heavy chains, whereas it is homodimer, it consisting of only homologues of CH2 and CH3. So TH1 produces IL2 and IFN gamma, which is the most important, and it will form IgG, whereas in TH2 we have the IL4, which changes formation of IgG to IgE, and TH2 also join IL5 change TH, which is created from TH2, they change it to the eosinophil, and the allergic reaction is due to the where the allergic reaction is more, then you will see IgM, because IgM they have basically IgE, it is in high concentration, as it is found as mast cells and basophils, they take part in the allergic reactions, and these mast cells they attach to the Fc region of IgE. So IgE, which is monomer, and besides the presence in the higher quantity in the allergic reactions, it is also thermolabile, right? So then I told you that IgG, which is basically monomer, forms the maximum for 50 to 80% antibodies in serum. It can pass the placenta and also through the walls of blood vessels. Then we have IgA, which basically forms the 15% and is found in secretions, the tear, mucus, saliva, and even the mother milk also against invading bacteria. And then we have IgD. IgD is very important, because IgD it does not pass through the placenta and help the new baby to initiate the immune response. Here I want to tell you, here see, exogenous or extracellular we have MHC class 2, endogenous and intracellular we have MHC class 1. Then we have the cross protection, in which the exogenous antigens can be presented by the MHC class 1. So this is the few points we did. So besides this, I already told you it is the IL-10, which is produced by, recently discovered by both TH1 and TH2. Then I have told you MHC, it is alpha 3, where the CD8 plus it is a binding site, whereas in MHC 2 the beta 2 is the binding site for CD4 plus, right? So then I already told you MHC and 1 and 2 they have the same ancestor, because they have presence of Ig like domains, which suggest the common evolutionary origin. Then I already told you CD4 they function as a receptor for HIV causing AIDS. They receive them and they permit the virus to enter the helper T cells and paralyze the immune system. And as we know, there are a lot of deaths because of the AIDS, and it is not because of the AIDS, it is due to secondary infection like cold, pneumonia, and because the immune system is crippled, and it is not possible for the person to face the, if somebody is going past having a sore throat, and after a few days the person will have sore throat because immune system is already finished up. So this I finishes, and I also told you about the talons, and then we have also told you the peptide fragments which are formed, which first enters by endocytosis, then it attached to the basically endosome, then fusion, then cytosol, it is a replication, and then proteolysis, then peptide fragment, it combines with the beta microglobulin, and these beta microglobulin we did these beta microglobulin they basically are helpful in forming a complex, and these transfer to the Golgi bodies, and it is become extracellular and cytotoxic cells they will recognize, because they recognize not the antigens, but they recognize the first is the MHC1 and second is the peptide fragments. So this is the crux. So today I finishes. So we will meet tomorrow to wind it up, and after that I will move to the one biotechnology part. Now I subsequently do the one molecular biology and one biotechnology part, so that we will be ready for the July 26 test, that is the blend of PG and UG. So I again said ki PG, those who are UG, they are destined to come for the PG. So you have to be very much particular. If you don't join botany, that is not the issue, but if you have basic knowledge, then in IS you will easily attempt the botany questions, and that will take you above. right? Above 100, 200 people above. So it is the matter of time, so which topic you will take, but what you are doing today, do it thoroughly, right? So if you are taking zoology also, but you will get the botany question there. So if you are getting chemistry, you have got botany question, you will attempt that questions. So you will be master of all, right? So see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you.